Where's my mouse? I need to figure out why my audio does not want to come through. It's coming through now. Okay. Let's hit that little dandy button. Ooh. Got my coffee. So no more, I can actually get the microphone nice and close now. Before we had that little bar, they would just be like right here. No more. No more bar. No more bars. Okay. Alright, so I think we've done all of our samples. Oops. This is to store it, as it told me. Yeah, we've done everything. I don't know why this doesn't work anymore, though. I wonder if we can upgrade the lab or something like that, or we need a different kind of lab or something. So I guess that is still yet to be determined. We will find out about that. All right, let's check out our dive map. So we need to get, whoa, way out here. The bloom. So we're right here. We need to get all the way down there. Wow. This world's really opening up. What's this? Sample request. Bloomfield Sam. Bloom fans struggle to survive in this hostile corner of the bloom, so we should be able to find dead fans near here. Why we want dead fans? If we can survive it ourselves. Ooh. Alright. Let's head out. It's music. Okay, so a little recap here. So I know we learned a few things, right? So we can hit the spacebar to do scans really quickly, and then we can do control to return to this screen, and then we can fiddle about with our navigation, and then all we have to do is hit W, and now we can move forward. Alright, so we need to head south. Sample candidate. Let's go get a sample of this thing real quick. Alright. These colonies do well to hold out against the bloom. The individual creatures seem to be able to digest the microbial growth. We can use this. We can use it. We should try deploying a colony to see if it can create our own safe zone inside the toxic flood. Didn't we already? I thought we already did that. Oh, this is new. Nest workers. Tiny transparent... I almost said transplant. Tiny transparent creatures. Sampled from a woven nest. Alright. Let's, I want to analyze it. I'm gonna analyze it real quick. Alright. Lab sample. Oh, we need to stow it away first. Sample store. Let's put one of those in there. Error. Okay. Guess we can't use these yet. Oops. I need to stop hitting the escape key. I really want the escape key to, like, leave this little interface, but that's a habit I gotta break. Do 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 do. All right. All right, let's do our experiment here. It does work. Look at that. And she doesn't say anything about it. Toxic waters. Clumps and trails of microbial growth trail across my visor. I'm gonna head back and grab more samples. Man, these flies. I think the game only wants us to have 2. Nope. We're gonna have 3 now. Okay. Look at that. No more scanning. We know exactly what we're doing. Whew. Alright. Toxic waters. We are just getting through. Little sand gathered around a distended base of this rock. New species. I'm not reading any of those. We need to book it. Ooh. Oh. What does the fan dust do again? I kind of wish it would be a little bit more practical if we had like a description of what these things do. More samples available? I mean, they kind of imply it, but I wish it was a little bit more like direct, you know? Take a little breather here. Coffee makes the novice thirsty. Silt's Plain. A rock floor here is covered in a thin layer of silt, unmoved by currents or creatures. Let's keep going. Ooh, more metal bits. So I think we need to head a little bit more west. But I kind of committed us to this direction. Keep an eye on our oxygen. Helps us a little bit. New species, corroded rocks. We'll wait for her to say something. We won't get much from observing this stuff. I've logged the species. Let's analyze. Ooh, there we go. I've logged the species. Let's analyze the samples back at base. Is this for a rock sort of thing, or is this just more, yeah, more fan dust? Okay. We can consume some of these to replenish some of our oxygen. Like sweating a little bit right now. Alright. More samples available? I don't think so. Alright. Let's keep heading south. Ridges and the green growth. Ooh, my eyes all twitchy. Ugh. Okay. Let's keep it going. Ugh. Research site. Through the green, I can see the skeleton of May's room. Oh, right here. Did we make it? I think we made it. Ah, we did it. This place was pressurized at some point. It must have taken months of work to establish this lab. I had just weeks of corrosion for it to fall into ruin. It looks like Monet was gathering those mineral skeletons, studying them. What secrets have you uncovered, Monet? How were these strange silicon spheres worth all this? Bubble edge. Beyond the bubble, the angular shape of the lab's second module sits silent, wrapped with cords of microbial growth. Crystal cylinders. As we are now, Monet must have relied on the protective bubble these spheres provide to study the bloom and its ecosystem. Nesting creatures, like the nests themselves, which are woven from transparent threads, the bubbles which protect them also seem to have a delicate skin. Silicate skeletons, okay. More of these ornate silicate globes sit in the silt. These bubbles must have been both their refuge and their grave. That was one of these things. Mineral orb. Honeycombed with oxygen bubbles. This is not a lab, though. Dissected skeletons. The equipment here suggests Monet was studying the mineral skeletons. Where she has cut through, the silica shines pure silver. Every time, that freaks me out. Oops. Alright, there's nothing else over here. Oh wait, we didn't grab a... Oh, we did grab a sample. Are there samples in this one? No. Okay. Melted module. These modules are so rapidly melted away. The bloom's microbes metabolizing the metal itself? So, I guess we just continue. Now. Ooh, bloom froth. Dark green bubbles that form in the most dense areas of bloom where there's little current to provide water flow. Alright, here goes nothing. Cave. Dark opening. A whole metal floor reveals a passage below. No toxins, no toxins. Predicted. No toxins. Steel passage. Monet must have laid this under the lab where she constructed it. The water is clearer here, shielded from the microbial clouds. Whew, isn't that a relief? Oh, man. Hidden workshop. Machines glint in the dark. Papers and tools lie still in silt-speckled surfaces. It is as if the scene has been frozen, captured in time. This is not just a lab, it's a workshop. She was building something down here. It's a suit. It looks like she was modifying an old atmospheric hard suit. How deep was she planning to go? These are verified far beyond 1,000 meters. I'm going to see what I can pull from the notes and documents here. Some of them are still partially readable. The lack of water flow must have kept them in good condition. She was definitely speccing the suit for use beyond the drop-off. Oh, the drop-off! Finding Nemo fans out there. Oh, I didn't read the rest of it. Artificers, she calls them. Are exoskeletons of nanofibrous oh my gosh. The pressure resistance of their exoskeleton is unprecedented for a biological material. Man, this is getting rapid. And that would take the depth rating of the hard suit well past 3,000 meters. Incredible. But why go over the drop-off at all? What was she pushing her forward? What was pushing her forward? She was incredibly driven, desperate even. She mentioned sending ROVs down to the abyssal plane, cobbled together from bits of the base. All of them were lost, and her work on the suit failed. That's where the notes seem to end. The most recent document mentions another way. Did she make it? How? The suit was so close to completion, why abandon it? We have to make that dive. If I can fix up the suit, we can take it over to drop-off. Perhaps Monet managed it. We need to follow. I can do this. We can do this. Let's get back outside and call the drone. Okay. Why would she make two suits? I mean, did she come back and then drop this suit off? It's a little strange. It's a little weird. We made it. We survived. We have survived. Oh, downtime 5 hours. Man, does this woman really sleep ever? There we go. Glad to see you're back online. Sorry for the rush, but we've got to move. I've been going through Monet's notes from her lab, and from what I can tell, she's attempted a free dive over the drop-off. That's why she left her suit behind. She must have opened it up and descended. I know what you're thinking. There's no way she could free dive thousands of meters to the ocean floor. But that's what she did, willingly. And we're going after her. We need to dive now. I've been working on the suit and it's almost ready. I've used sections of Monet's failed hard suit to modify our suits. Now it's a full atmospheric dive suit. Internally, we should be able to maintain that 1 atmosphere of pressure for me and that casing of yours. It'll work just like before, but our depth rating is massively increased. We can hit 2, maybe 3,000 meters. The suit is in the bay, so load whatever samples you need. I've marked the drop-off on the map, and we can dive there directly and search for any evidence there. I have no idea why she would do this. It's suicide, but she seemed to believe she could do it. Get ready to go. I'll be waiting. Free diving it. I guess we'll grab these things. I don't know what kind of creatures we're gonna see down there. Guess we'll stow this sample away. And nest workers. We'll just put one of the samples here, so we don't have to go and retrieve it again. Let's see. What else do these things do? I don't know what they do. I think we tried. It's the same thing, so it's going to come up with an error. Yep. And this one, I think we did try. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Oh, she has a new... Oh, yeah, there we go. Entry log 03. Entry author 2216, Dr. Ellery Voss. Finding that laboratory in the bloom, it is almost like working with Monet again. I still have some good memories of Kelper 62F. Hours diving beneath the ice in that crystalline ocean, sampling the mineral deposits that Monet claimed were evidence of life. Our synchronized rhythms in a lab, working silently but in concert. Lying beside her in the top narrow berth, the creak of pack ice rattling down the base's spine. Ooh. I can just hear that. But those memories come with unwelcome ones attached. Ones of Monet's quiet judgment, her deep sadness, her flaring anger. For a few short months, that subglacial ocean was ours, blocked from the universe outside by 5 kilometers of ice. His secrets were our own. But then Monet had other secrets too. It seems like I will never escape her secrets. Here I am living among them, drowning in them, picking through them in search of answers. I don't think I'm ready to read a whole thing here. We can come back. Bloom vein. Bloom vein. I don't That must have been one of the ones that we like clicked through and then didn't read anything because we were too scared. All right, I guess we'll read it. In all fairness, let's just read it. This is our breakpoint, I guess. Bloom veins conceal themselves in bronze-colored shells most of the time, only coming out when the opportunity to feed presents itself. Highly attuned to the currents and flows of the bloom, bivalve bloom veins take advantage of any break in the bloom's flow to unfold from their shells and feed. They feed primarily on the bloom's microbial growth itself, able to quickly establish and maintain a freeing zone of oxygenated water. When a bloom vein tires, it will then retreat back into its shell, burying itself in the sill once more. I would like to understand more about how bloom veins are able to feed directly to the microbes of the bloom. Considering the extremely high toxicity, perhaps something we uncover here could be useful for future expeditions into the unforgiving landscape of the bloom. Bloom froth. Ooh. Speaking of froth, there's no froth. Excuse me while I experience this on my own. Alright. These clusters of opaque green bubbles can be found clinging to surfaces in the quieter areas of the bloom where currents do not disturb the growth. They appear to be accumulations of the bloom's microbial growth, the green clouds that create this vast toxic cloud of anoxic ocean water. The bloom itself is a mysterious phenomenon, similar to terrestrial algae blooms, hence the name Manet gave this part of Gliese 667c's ocean, but far more potent in its strength and seemingly much longer lasting, as much of the life in this sector has adapted to these extreme conditions. The similarity to terrestrial blue-green algae, aka cyanocrab, where did I get that word from? Cyanocrab. Cyanobacteria has led me to classify the species as bacterial. But this thesis needs to be tested. Perhaps by analyzing this froth, we can understand the underlying chemical process taking place here. So I'm pretty sure we could not analyze anything. Oh, right. The froth turned into like a generalized fragment sort of thing. Okay. Let's head out. So we are looking to get... Oh. We can just go there. So let's go there. Are you back with me? Wow, you've been operating on your own? Oh, look at that. We're going down. We're not like 28 meters anymore. Good. I was getting lonely here, excuse me. We are descending fast. The drop is huge, 1.5 kilometers down. There's no way she, like, free dives down this depth. Let's stay focused. We have no data on this zone of the ocean. The light of Gliese 667... Oh, cool. 667's 3 stars barely makes it this deep. I've got my headlamps on. You'll have to be my eyes. I want to work my way along the slope to the northeast. We are looking for any trace of Manet or the ROVs she sent down here. Let's get to it. Look at that. We knew exactly where it was. Beyond the reach of the suit's lamps and slopes descend slowly into the dark towards the abyssal plain. Wow. Hear the echo? It's cool. What's this? Still waters. The heavy currents of the upper ocean don't reach down here, leaving the water still and silent. Sediment suspended in the column. Whoa. Pale glow. A bioluminescent glow drifts through the silt, a faint but noticeable chemical blue. Whoa, what is that? Tangled veil. You wanna talk? No? No. These silken creatures are almost transparent. Apart from those lights, what are they? These drifting veils of material appear to be creatures of some kinds. They are pulsing faintly with pinpricks of light. Trailing veil. This veil stretches away from the tangle of the group, reaching towards new territories. Oh, it's starting to get a lot more common. Veil edge. Though their soft, shifting forms can be hard to see, this seems to mark the edge of one of the veils. In the headlamps of the suits, I can occasionally see a vein-like texture to the surface of these veils. What substances sustain them? Diaphanous veils twitch, suspended in the water. They are seeded with pinpricks of bioluminescence like distorted star fields. These veils are gathered in groups which I am calling tangles. They seem to be intentional formations, but for what purpose? Between these two veils, some clear water is visible, a temporary corridor between two hanging sheets. Surrounded on all sides by drifting sheets of bioluminescence, this space is a fluid, shifting interior. The lights the veils produce come directly from beneath their skin. They shift from transparent light emitting in undulating waves. Whoa. The veil delivers some kind of stunning electrical shock to the suit. Is that how they disable their prey? We should be careful in contact with this species. Yeah. Tangle veil. Though tangled and without any clear sensory organs, these creatures seem to have a strong control over their position in the water. A gap between the veils, is it that these are two competing individuals, or is this just a temporary separation of a single group? New sample candidate. At closer inspection, these veils are jeweled with the half-digested remain of other life, passing conveyor-like from one veil to the next. Studded along the veils are the remains of creatures that have been confused by the lights and caught by their transparent hunters. Oh. Snare veil. New species. I'm naming these strange creatures snail? Whoa. Hold on. I'm naming these strange creatures... I said hold on. Oh, we should read it. Wide, delicate, silken panels of bioluminescent cells. They work in unison to entrap and digest creatures which come too close. Oh, we missed her opinion, but I'm sure we'll read it in the journal. Oh no, we're gonna be trapped. Ooh, animal. 10% animal. 0% tissue. Whoa. Digested remains. Oh, okay. An unknown creature. Caught by a veil and partially digested. Disgusting. Thus his life. Here the tangle is receding, a few of its trailing veils hanging still in the dark water, like the poisoned limbs of a dancer. Well, I don't think we really have a choice, do we? Ow! Oh. Light patterns. His veil is blinking in the same sequence of lights over and over. Perhaps this is a way of attracting curious prey into their rip. Perhaps. Why didn't Manet tell anyone about this place? The life here. It's the biggest discovery in human history. Do you think she is trying to protect it? Yes. But then why bring me here? She didn't bring me here. Maybe she expects me to keep her secrets too. Does she know you were coming? She always had her secrets, but this feels bigger than that. Did she know she was coming? Away from the veils, and the water returns to its inky darkness, resisting the strong beams of the suit's lamps. I can't remember. I thought she uncovered the existence of Manet. or the presence of Monet here. Silt has gathered around the base of two large outcrops, forming a natural respite from the steady downward pitch of the slopes. Layered outcrop, dark basalt layers rise up out of the slope like fractured towers, each jagged layer carrying drifts of silver silt. Basalt tower. These dark towers of angular stones are the telltale signs of volcanic processes active under the planet's surface. Oh. Okay, I forgot how to play for a moment. ROV debris. Oh, what must be... You're gonna talk? No. What must be one of Monet's improvised remote vehicles lies twisted in the silt. Could it have been disabled by the veils? Oh, there's a little dot over there. What is that? This debris. It's one of Monet's ROVs. Yeah, no. Wait, to my left, is that... Human creature. It's her. Wow, she made it really far. Is that... Oh, God. She's here. She's alive? We are reading life signs and she's breathing. That can't be right. How long has she been here, lying in the silt? We have to bring her back to the base. But I don't... Okay, focus, Ellery. What do we do? We can use ROV to boost our signal to the base. Send for the drone, then we can start the ascent. Get me back to the ROV debris and hook us up to the terminal. Old habits, man. Can I just call the terminal? Did we get her? Oh. Terminal's here. Oh, the terminal. Gotta release the pilot's console. Okay, we're synced. Call the drone now. We need to get her out of here. Okay, there we go. Whew. I can't believe we found her. How long have we been asleep? 3.5 hours. I can't believe we found her. That's so crazy. You're back. I need to talk. I'm on the medical level. She is totally unresponsive. Can we go there? I don't know what to do. I don't even understand how she's still alive. I keep going back to the image of her, blue, silent, staring out at the silt. A thin stream of bubbles flickering from her mouth. How long has she been there? The pressure alone should have crushed her at that depth. This doesn't make any sense. But she's alive. I need to talk to her, but nothing. I want to understand. I want to know what is going on here. I haven't seen her in years, not since she left, and now here she is. Do you ever imagine all the things that you're going to say to a person when you see them again? Yeah. I wanted to scream at her, to whisper to her, to tell her. Oh man, I came here for her. I don't know why I did, but I did. I think it's because I had to hope for something to change, for there to be an explanation, for those months we spent together to mean something again. Sorry, I'm not making any sense. This makes two times she turned my life upside down. At least this time I knew what I was signing myself up for. It's not like I had anywhere else to go, or to be. The further I am from that dying planet, the better. What comes next? We keep going. She was looking for something out here. Something important enough to leave her like this. It's our turn to take that forward, to find that explanation. I think she built that lab in the Bloom to study those mineral skeletons. Artificers, she called them. I'm gonna try a few different pronunciations in here. But something was leading her deeper, beyond the drop-off. Let's start with those ROVs she sent out. Maybe they found something we didn't. I'll mark her last known position in the dive map, and I'll be here until you are ready to go. Oof. So we should have some new samples. Yeah, this thing. Put these back, let's put these in here. The game gives us everything that we pretty much need all the time, so... Alright, let's test this. Probably human tissue. Snare Veils taxonomy... entry updated. And do it again? And yeah, that's one we can't do. I don't know why I'm starting. Oh, I'm gonna start a trend for myself here. Oh man. Kalutada, Snare Veil. Oh, we have some behavior. No sketches. Man, I want more sketches. Alright. Snare Veils are unique, soft-bodied creatures that resemble a thin sheet of silk studded with lights. Found in tangles of multiple individuals, they're hyptonic. Their hyptonic swaying and flickering lights make them difficult to see in their entirety. But from my initial observations, they appear to be flat panels of bioluminescent cells, which are faintly veined with both a nervous and digestive system. Veils survive by capturing creatures which swim onto their surface, somehow stunning or killing them and then digesting them on the exterior of their bodies. I have also observed veils passing prey from one individual to another, suggesting that they have some form of social interaction between individuals. Analysis of the digested remains they leave behind might give some clues as to their predatory behavior. Speaking of behavior, analysis of unknown remains found nearby in Veil Tangle shows that the creature captures and kills its prey through an electrical charge. This charge, presumably produced by electric organs that sit beneath the veil's outer membrane, can produce incredibly high voltage outputs, and the remains analyzed showed significant damage from these electrical discharges. The remains also suggest that the veils use electrical pulses to control the muscles and nervous systems of captured creatures, forcing them to swim deeper into the grip of the veil when captured. Oh my goodness. That's terrifying. It's like a whole other level of praying mantis. Not a praying mantis, the Seymour. The man-eater thing. Venus flytrap. There we go. We found it. We made it there. Alright, the veil's manipulation of electrical signals seem highly nuanced, and they may also use them for the detection of prey, and even communication between individuals. In order to confirm these theories, analysis of veil tissue is necessary, although this may prove difficult. Look how much stuff we've read! We're gonna become scientists after this. Get a degree after playing this game. Alright. Crew terminal. Personal log 04-2216. Dr. Ellery Vass. She is still alive. I never thought I would see her again. Not after she sliced the core from the base on Kepler 62F and took the shuttle to God knows where. I spent weeks slowly freezing in that base, waiting for the Bacal team to come get me. After that, it all fell apart. There was never any life on Kepler 62F. Minnie had faked, I almost said flaked the whole thing. I like flaked the whole thing. And she wanted the data core. She knew Bacal could provide, she wanted the she wanted the data core she knew Bacal would provide when she gave them evidence of first contact. But Bacal blamed me, and my work was as a consulting biologist collapse. Excuse me. I limped back to Earth to take a post-grad position on that dying planet. There is little need for a marine biologist in a place where the only oceanic life is kept in tourist-choked reserves. That's where I stayed, watching the endless exodus of humans with enough money to leave, looking out across the dead ocean at the pinpricks of their shuttle's rocket flares. Until Minnie called me here. I should blame her for everything, but I just want to know why. Perhaps now, if she ever wakes up, I can ask her. So she did call her, okay. We must have forgotten that part. Alright. Alright. Another one of Monet's improvised ROVs stops transmitting somewhere here after sending back some strange geological readings. Ooh. Exciting. Alright. Why? We already been here? Oh, we haven't been to this. Okay. Debris trail. Glinting debris from the disabled ROV traces back to the sand. Maybe we should just mispronounce things and be a little bit more natural. For me. Volcanic outcrop. Unmistakably basalt, formed in some volcanic trench eons ago. This outcrop is outlined by the faint light of Gliese 667C's suns. Ooh. Fork in the road, eastern plain. East of the ridge, a small rise opens into a flat plain of dippled silt. Declining slope. Not soap, but slope. The pale floor descends rapidly away from the ridge in this direction towards a field of shadowy outcrops. Ooh. I'm gonna go this way because I think it kind of leaned east. Silt plain, a featureless expanse lit flatly by the suit's lamps. You can just see it. Boring. Oh, it is really varying east. An occasional silver bubble. This does not bode well for my future. An occasional silver bubble breaks the surface of the flat silt, carrying a cloudy trail of sediment behind it. Ooh. Sediment trails, repeated trails of unknown creatures mark the sand, wandering back and forth across the rippled surface. Alright, now we're going north again. Cold water seeps. Bubbles of methane trickle. Hear that? Bubbles of methane trickle out from beneath the silt, creating silvery columns wreathed in sand. Pockmarks. Ahead, the seeps have created small craters in the seabed, where brine is gathering into clouded pools. Whoa, what is that? Ooh. I don't know what brine is. Brine pools. A shimmering landscape of ghostly pools stretches out in the lamps, the dense brine sitting in the craters like undersea ponds. Alright, hold on. Brine pools. The methane seeps must have been something. The pools themselves will be toxic and also anoxic. Let's navigate carefully. They are beautiful fog-skinned puddles, sunk into the seabed, but they are dangerous. Well, we're about to find out how dangerous because we can only go in this direction. Sandy rise. The seeps imprint the geological patterns of the underlying rock into the silt, forming both deep pools and untouched rises. Here we go. Oxygen. They like oxygen. Alright, so here's a fork. Between the pockmarks of the pools, the silt plain carries the marks of the local creatures' patterns of activities. Pool network. A complex pattern of pools fills the seabed, shimmering with toxic chemistry. Do we go the dangerous route? Yes. Let's go the dangerous route. Oh boy. Here we go. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff over here. Cool. Oh, we have options. Bristling fronds. These feathery fronds are growing. Whoa, hold on. These swaying fronds, are they a colony or a strange creature? I'll start recording my observations. Yeah, you do that. These feathery fronds are growing along the edge of the brine, waving their matted, leaf-like limbs through the water. Ooh, cool. Microbial mats. Sample candidate. Bright orange carpets of microbial growth gathered beneath the waving fronds stretch away from the pool. They could sample them. We could sample them here. Frond patterns. While some pools transition into bare sand, others are choked with fronds. Methane seep. Among the pools is a pillar of shining bubbles rises up towards the surface. Man, I'm reading. It's getting better. It's getting better, I feel. A novice reader. We're a professor of learning. That's right. Bristling fronds. Each of the many limbs of these branching creatures is carefully dipped into the brine pools one by one before pulling back. Ooh, this music. Let's head in this direction first. Bristling fronds. Occasionally this creature will sweep its limbs back into the hairy mass of its body before thrusting them out again. What is it doing? This music. The thick hairs of each frond seem to be mottled with a reddish substance. Does it grow here? Does it grow there? Amongst the hairs? Sandy rise. From this slight elevation of gleaming surface of a huge brine lake can be seen out in the east. Frond colonies. The dipping motion of the fronds as they filter the brine creates a hypnotic sense of motion along the edge of the lake. Alright, let's go grab that sample. Bacterial, and it's a colony. Brine mat. An orange bacterial mat sampled from beside a brine pool. Let's go to the Sandy Rise, navigating through all of these terrifying things here. Silt bank. A bank which skirts along the edge of a large shadowed pool. There's no samples or anything in here, right? Triangles are places that we can move to, so... Why can't we select anything over here? Poisoned remains. Along the edge of the larger pools, the shells and skeletons of creatures loom out of the silt, victims of the toxic brine. Hey there, little buddy. Lake Causeway. This rise projects out towards a vast brine lake to the east, cutting between deep pools. Crater strip. Unlike the shallow, deep seep marks in the south, these deep craters plunge through the silt into the bedrock. Brine pools mark the plain on all sides, densely packed around the vast lake. These aren't seep pools. Something impacted the seafloor here. Meteors? How could they get so deep? Or could some creature have left these? Something could have emerged from it, maybe. Silt strip. A thin causeway leads between the pools, away from the lake. Yeah, let's go this way. Ooh, oh. Oh, that was close enough to hurt us a little bit. We're okay, though. We're surviving. We're surviving, surviving, surviving. Cloudy pool. The brine gathers in this small crater like a subtle storm. It would be beautiful if it wasn't so toxic. Oh, another fork in the road. North Passage. This silt banks allows passage between the two parallel strips of craters leading north. Sandy Rise. The pools seem to continue to the north, but why do they stretch so far away from the main body of the lake? We're gonna go over here. I just want to see what's over here, if we're gonna pass by it. Pool network. The pools seem to cover a huge part of the seabed, radiating out from the lake in ornate patterns. Draining pool. Some of these more northern pools are emptying of brine, leaving only shallow layers at their base. Empty crater. Empty of brine, this crater was clearly caused by a large impact, showing radial cracks in the rock spreading from a single point. Wow. Isolated oasis. Sample candidate. Despite the toxic brine on all sides, this glowing oasis clings to its rock, even as it is melted away. Whoa, sample. What the heck was that noise? Oh boy, deep pollen. Large floating particles produced by deep sea plants. Glowing fan. Precariously seated among the pools, this fan shows signs of decay, its amber waves of light stuttering and flickering unevenly. Bright flan. Like the fans found in the bloom, these creatures are fan-shaped filter feeders. However, these variants glow with a cold fire. These fans seem to play a central role in the ecosystem here. I'm going to start recording data. Cool. Good for you. Pale petals. Trefoil petals, which gather around the... Oh gosh. What are these petal-shaped creatures? They only grow around the glowing fans. Let's start logging data. Go for it. Trefoil petals, which gather around the glowing fans of the deep, they angle themselves towards the light like expectant children. Alright, so I have to start... I thought it said musical. Oh no. Alright. Fan sheath. The filtering sheath of a glowing fan. Studied with pollen. I have to say, I'm really impressed with the amount of text. I'd be really curious to see how they generated so much text. And I wonder how much of this is actually authored versus, you know, I guess, you know, generated. Disabled ROV. The ROV must have been detracted by some signal among the pools, but it became another victim of the corrosive brine. Sandy Rise. A small plane strangely clear of creature tracks. They must not cross into the northern zone. Alright, let's go check out our drone thing. One of Manet's ROV. It looks like this one was disabled by the brine. The supplies Manet equipped it with are still intact though. We can resupply. Open the terminal and let's see what this little guy found down here. Oh wow, you found something big, didn't you, little guy? It looks like... Is that a wreck? Incredible, the debris field stretches all the way northwest from here. It must have been large, a freighter or a research vessel? We have to go see this thing. Come on, we can head back to base. We can head back to base after. Just milk this thing for everything it's got. Alright. Debris field. Whatever caused a string of impact craters, parts of it lie all around. Huge jointed forms of corroded metal. Ooh. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Here's the edge of the debris trail. It's not intentional. It needs to be intentional. Something sank here by the spread of debris exploded. It has been here for years, decades. The metal is corroded to little more than a frame. Distracted now. That means Manet wasn't the first person to come here. Ooh, something big happened here. Something no one was meant to find. Okay, here we go. Conspiracy theory. Oh boy. Metal lumps. Bulbous rust-like lumps are scattered across the pale sand like seeds thrown into the wind. Bristling fronds. When a limb is removed from the brine, the red substance matted into the hair seems to glow brighter, shifting in color. Yeah, these shapes are a little bit different than everything else in here. Twisted frame. I just noticed that. Yeah, it looks like there's a few other little bits that are similar. The spars of the frame stick out in the sand like fractured ribs, fronds and other growing closing the gaps between them. Oh boy. Oh wait, it's moving. Stilt-legged stone. This tall, crab-like creature. Oh boy. How can these creatures survive out here among the breen? I'll start keeping notes of their behavior. This tall, crab-like creature towers above the breen pool. An unusual assortment of rock, shells, and bones adorn its back. Whoa, that sounds wicked. Fractured plates. The broad, flat plates of the wreck sit at right angles to each other, forming a complex angular walls. Saved your ears. Silt strip. A curved strip forms a narrow walkway between the pools beside the wreck. Hull entry. A split in what must have been Calm down. Getting too excited. A split in what must have once been the vessel's hull allows passage into the overgrown interior. Ooh. Melted corridor. The breen has left everything but the vaguest shape of the vessel impossible to define. Bristling fronds. Ooh, the music. It seems that the substance caked into these creatures' hair is reacting to the breen somehow. Perhaps it is helping them feed. Ovoid creature. These ovoid creatures. Ovoid. These pale, pulsing creatures seem so passive. I'm gonna start taking notes on them. You know, I need to embrace the mispronouncing of things. I mean, that is like my life normally anyway. Alright, these ovoid creatures sit pulsing in the edge of the deep oasis. They are glassy and soft, like partially boiled, shell-less eggs. So are we inside it now? We are entering the main body of the wreck now. It's a little bit more than a husk. Overgrown bay. This bay perhaps once a... Hold on. It is impossible to tell anything from these rusted plates. Whose ship was this? The local ecosystem looks like it has been scraping away at this thing for decades. Nothing much left for us. This bay, perhaps once a cargo hold, is being scraped away by frond-like creatures, releasing flakes of orange rust into the water. Oh boy. Breen eaters, new species. I log these creatures as breen eaters, so you can take a look at my observations at the back of the base. Breen eaters, branching feathery fronds which grow alongside breen pools, carefully dipping their matted and stained limbs in and out of the breen. Breen eaters. Branching feathery fronds which grow alongside breen pools, carefully dipping their matted... We already read that part. Is it the same thing? Didn't I just say, like, how clever they've been with, like, keeping things really varied? Half buried in sand, the industrial seals and the equipment locker have held. It must have been protected from the crash within this bay. When close to these creatures, you can feel the pull of their strong filtering action as they absorb water and push it through their bodies. Look, a still sealed dive suit locker. Let's see if we can get it open. Okay, I think I can lever... Yes, it's open, but there's not a lot here. Wait, this cutting torch looks clean enough. With a little work, this could be salvaged. Ooh. Is this Bekal tech? Hard to tell. Looks compatible with the suit, though. I'll show it and see what I can do with it when we get back to the base. Ooh. Ooh. How exciting. Impact craters. The craters clustered around the vessel suggest an explosive force of some considerable magnitude. It seems to me like they crashed. There's still a bunch of people on this thing, and they tried to escape, or they managed to escape. Ovoid creature. These creatures seem to produce small branching buds. Branching buds. In the same way that a hydra grows a clone of itself in order to reproduce. Most of the wreck must have already been lost to the brain. Only this section remains, precariously settled in a silt bank. Ovoid creature. At this creature's interior sits a sphere, surrounded by a reflective membrane, bathed in light from the transparent sections of its body. Whoa. Wreck garden. Whatever its origin, the wreck here has become a sanctuary for the ocean's life. There is a beauty to its reclamation. Crab-like creature. These crawling creatures seem to keep to themselves. Let's keep track of where we find them. I don't want to get close to all of this. Flooded craters. Could this set of seeps have been created by the wreck's impact? Perhaps it breached the bedrock protecting the methane below. Oh no. Discarded shell. A crested shell sits on the edge of the brain pool. Its former inhabitants nowhere to be seen. We could sample it here. Alright, let's go. There it goes. Oh, we're okay now. Alright. Cool. Whoa. Crested shell. A shell stripped with crests, found among the brain pools. In and out. Oh, whoops. Like, sort of forgot how to play the game all of a sudden. None of this adds up. If there's a wreck here, then there were people. And if there were people, well, why doesn't everyone know about this place? About its incredible life? We've spent centuries looking for life outside of Earth and found nothing. I've seen so many dead plants, so many barren worlds. I've certified each of them clear of life. Just so an exoplanet extraction corp can pick them clean from maximum profit. Strip mine them for resources our ever-expanding species needs. This place is impossible. One in millions, and yet it is already marked by our greedy fingerprints. Who brought the ship here? This has to be the history Monet wanted to uncover. Let's head back to base. There's nowhere to find, I'm sure of it. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, she's right. Well, I hope our drone can make it down here. Alright, we're gonna drop some stuff off and then we'll head off to a break. Something has happened. Come to medical now. Monet is growing. I haven't dared to go in. I can't make sense of readouts. Make sense of the readouts. Her vitals are still unreadable, but she is still alive. Whatever kept her alive in the slopes is changing her somehow. I've been sat here watching. Watching her. I don't know what to do. Do you think she is in pain? No. I hope so. She doesn't seem to be suffering, but then I don't know what this is. There are procedures. Every base stack is equipped with the quarantine systems. I can authorize a lab to be purged. End it now. Is that still Monet? I can't. What do you think? Should I authorize a purge? No. No, you're right. That's Monet. I didn't come all this way just to... We need to monitor her. To try to understand what is happening here. Thank you. I won't give up on her. I won't be afraid of what I don't understand. We can find the answers together. Okay, we can do this. I fucked up that cutting torch from the debris field. I hope it helps. I need some answers. Let's find that other ROV. The kitty.